Alrighty, Grand Finals. This is an interesting matchup. Poison, although she is very good against most Fireball characters, right? For the reasons we talked about in the Tokido set, where you can use the whip to trade favorably. The problem is in this matchup is you just don't have time. Time is the big issue in this match. You don't have time between the booms. You don't have time between the buttons. You don't have time to activate the stance and trade and get the rhythm going. This is like a very rhythmic match. You'll notice that like Daigo, once he gets the rhythm and he's getting booms out, it's very difficult for Poison to answer. And on the other side, if she gets the stance and she starts trading favorably with Guile and her whip stance, it's very difficult for him to kind of get going. It's one of those matchups where whoever has the tempo of the match is in a great spot. And in general, Guile is better at doing that. He has an easier time kind of stealing back the momentum of him just getting booms out. It's very like tempo back and forth between the two. You'll see it in this matchup quite a bit. See that stance comes out? That is something that Daigo has to worry about. But once, stuff the early jump heavy punch. Once you're like getting booms out over and over, you see what I mean about the, okay, this is a great early example. Notice Fuudo tries to use crouching heavy punch between the booms to trade. This is a good trade for him if it hits. Boom collides. He tries to get out the stance. Boom collides. He doesn't have time. In this matchup, time is extremely important. You have to have the space, the time, and like the perfect amount of frames to get the whip out and trade. Otherwise, these booms add up. Daigo builds a lead, and then on that lead, when Poison has to be the one to approach, it's really bad. That's not what you want in this matchup, right? So that's why it is very important that Fuudo finds those little trades between the booms where he can get in and make something. This anti-air is fucked up. Man, it's good. Oh, man, it just always works. Anytime, also, you see Fuudo go for an EX, Daigo will V-reversal. He's going to V-reversal often in this matchup, and it's totally okay with him. This is the kind of grind, though, that's really bad for Daigo. Just lead like this, crouching heavy punch. Oh, that's a punish. Oh, bad punish. I think he wanted down jab boom into V-trigger, but he missed the boom. This is still pretty difficult. Ooh, whiff on the V-reversal. Daigo wins in one hit now with critical art. Well, that happens with Mr. Wub dropping the prime. The other thing is, when Poison... So because Poison wants to be early, right? She wants to activate the whip stance immediately to try to trade with booms. Because she wants to be fast in this matchup and counter the booms, she has to go first. Because she has to go first, sometimes what will happen is she goes to activate the stance and then Daigo just jumps in and gets a clean jump in on a whiff stance or whatever, right? So because she has to kind of... She wants to be first here. And Guile doesn't really care. Like, if she gets in stance, you can just walk or wait for her to release the stance and then throw a boom after, and she's not going to be able to get another one. So it's kind of like she has to initiate an option first. And so, you know, if that's going well for her and she builds a lead, that's great. But if not, she finds herself in a bad spot sometimes. Yeah, spend it. This character has to grind her way in against you, and a life lead in this matchup is super important. As we saw in the last round, right? Having a life lead means that the other character has to make choices they don't want to make to get in on you. They have to make choices to get extra damage on the trades. Like, it's not great. V-reversal, again, Poison extremely susceptible to V-reversal. There's not a lot of things she can do that can't be V-reversaled by your opponent. Yeah, that's a bad spot. Plus boom. Is it going to be throw? Low, overhead, bait the throw. Yeah, that sweep was an anti-air. Again, you see how Daigo lets Poison initiate crouching heavy punch or the stance and then starts peppering with booms after so that she can't trade anymore? That's kind of the strategy, right? You see when these booms get out, he has to like wait for her, let her do something, and then reset. And what's going to happen is one of her best ways to reset is the neutral jump. Right, so she has to neutral jump, she has to spend EX Love Me Tender, she has to try to forward jump, she has to do something to reset the booms, otherwise she can't escape. She's not going to be able to get out crouching heavy punch or stance between it. So that's where the jump comes in. Once Guile gets like this advantage position where he's putting booms on the screen, that's a punish, yeah. Again, another critical art. He has critical art because he spent it in the last round early and then got to build meter for the rest of the round. So 2 critical arts. Totally worth spending. There's like no doubt about it, right? Crush again. Daigo's about to have 1 meter. He's got a meter here for EX boom or EX flash kick. Again, You see how he just waits? He just waits for the whips to block, or yeah, he waits for the whip to whiff, or waits for the whip to be blocked, and then initiates with booms or buttons. He doesn't take bad trades over and over. And even right there, Fuudo needs to be first. He needs to hit Daigo and stuff a boom. He needs to hit Daigo and stuff whatever he's doing. Daigo just walks up, crams in crouching medium kick. It hits clean. It's smart. It's the way you play this matchup. If your character has that ability to, you know, let Poison do whatever she wants to do and then restart your game plan and force her to answer, you should just do it that way. You want booms close. Yeah, you don't want to get hit by multiple whips in a row like this. This is not what you want. This is how Fuudo wins these matches. So if you're Guile, you really just need to grind it out. Damn, he tried to sweep anti-air and got stuck. Daigo's perfectly okay blocking the stance and then countering. That's a good counter from Fuudo though, right? To block the boom and then let Daigo walk up and do a button to stuff him. This is bad. Especially because that hits. Oh, that could have been crouching jab, another boom, and then sweep. Well, this will be stun maybe before it... No, you just kill here. Oh, it's stunned! I was afraid of that.
I was worried about that, but he's gonna be able to kill anyway.
What?
Oh no, that's not gonna kill.
Yeah, Daigo this is, you know what, it happens to everybody. You've been playing fighting games your whole life. You just that was a brain fart. That was, if I've ever seen a brain fart in my life, that was a brain fart. How many of you guys are, you know, bronze, gold, silver, platinum level players, and you're like, oh god, I gotta throw. Everybody's done this.
Oh no, that's not gonna kill. No, that's right. It's completely spilled. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Yep, dead. That is unfortunate. Boom, 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 boom.
Can't kill here.
No way he kills there even with the full combo. So if he did the flash kick, it's stunned, and then he did the combo after and the critical art, it would have killed. But because the critical art whiffed, he had no way to kill there. Extremely unfortunate. That one hit stun. The other thing is, like, so if you're Daigo, so somebody's already saying it. I can already read the YouTube comment. Why didn't Daigo just not do critical art? If it didn't stun and he didn't spend critical art, then he was in a bad spot, right? Because, you know, he has pressure and everything, and that's good. But he could have killed if it didn't stun and he spent critical art. If it does stun and he spends critical art, then it's bad, obviously, right? So that's like kind of a weird spot for him to be in either way. Because if it didn't stun and he's like, oh shit, it didn't stun and now I got a meter and I could die if he wakes up super or something. You know, so it's a weird spot for Daigo to be.
He didn't even drop the combo. It's just the stun happened at the most inopportune time.
Unfortunate, either way. Okay. Another thing to point out in this matchup, this is important. Notice that Daigo has been initiating a lot more. Yeah, he's been dashing up. He's been committing to more offense. You see, like, walk up, upside down kick and stuff. This is where Fuudo gets to play a more comfortable game, right? When Daigo's not using booms to slow him down, like, he can stand in that range and hit standing medium kick or standing heavy punch. He can really play that game against Guile comfortably. I think when Daigo does approach, if Fuudo's ready, it's pretty big. Well, spend it. Crank that damage. Throw a kill. Yeah. Upside down kicks -2 on block.
Trying to go up 2-0, trying to take this as quickly as possible.
But yeah, I think that's the danger in walking up too much for Daigo in this matchup. So I think what he's got to do is sometimes walk up and then sometimes just hammer away at those booms, right? Like right here, yeah, if Fuudo thinks you're going to walk up, then it's very important to stick to the boom game plan. That was a good walk back on the throw from Daigo just a second ago.
Look for Fuudo.
Yeah, you hammer away at those booms. Oh, that just doesn't work. The sweep is too well spaced. Jump out of the corner. Even though, Daigo getting hit here is bad because of the dizzy, but even though he got hit, the first part was okay. I think jumping out of the corner and eating a jab or a crouching medium punch is not so bad. But I really think this match, besides the critical art stun shenanigans, which is unfortunate, right? Besides that, really, I think Daigo committed a little too much to walking forward on offense, and Fuudo did a great job countering, right?
You can't give them opportunities that they shouldn't have. And Fuudo, due to the fortunate timing of the stun...
Yeah, critical art has scaling. There is a minimum damage scaling that critical art can do, though. Eventually, in a combo, when you get enough hits, the scaling is a certain amount. It doesn't go lower. And critical arts have a set amount. See, Daigo's walking up now, and yes, okay, this is the adjustment of neutral. Last round, right? Last round, Daigo was walking up, he was swinging, and then Fuudo was countering. Now, notice Daigo, he's going to walk up here and wait. This is so important. Instead of walk up attack, it's walk up wait. Wait, let Fuudo commit to a button, counter poke. You have to do this. If you walk up and wait and let Fuudo swing, then Daigo can whiff punish. Then the next time, Daigo can walk up and instead of waiting, initiate first. Or instead of waiting, just throw a boom, right? Like, do something different and throw off Fudo's timing here. Yes, he throw a boom. And then walk up attack. And then, again, by walking up and waiting, he really kind of throws off the rhythm of that situation and then allows himself to find stuff like this.
Oh, air throw this time. Different air to air.
Get back down.
It's such an important thing to do for Daigo in this matchup. You have to rotate those options. Challenge from Fuudo. That was stun or not on the guess. Oh.
Daigo gets the stun when he wanted it.
I love that combo. Heavy and a sweep.
She's got no answer to that jab sonic boom pressure. I'm not sure
it's so important. And it's one of the most important parts about this matchup is when you throw those booms. Yeah. Spend it. Get that screen space. Again, you see how he waits that time? He walked up and waited to see if Fuudo would swing. It did it again. This is how you play the ground game. He walks up, waits, let Fuudo like whiff, then sweep. This allows Daigo to next time walk up and attack, or next time walk up and go all the way in and throw, or do something different, right? Because now you see that little hesitation from Fuudo. Fuudo was like, I don't want to hit a button because he might whiff punish me. He stopped for a second, right? Before that. That's what caused him to flinch and get hit by the crouching medium kick. It all adds up, you know, those little moments.
They just force you to come to them. That means he's not going to have to worry about going to the opponent.
It'll make Fuudo sit still, and if you make Fuudo sit still, you can grind him out with booms and your own buttons and stuff. Oh, that was unfortunate.
So, you know, getting that life lead, and then he could just build it back up. He's already at 2 bars already.
Oh, that's not real. Although he's taking some gray here. Oh no, he got hit. That's not gonna kill, but still bad news. Yeah, that ground game initiation right there where Daigo walks up really puts an interesting spot on Fuudo because he doesn't have to do that either, right? He can just do this and throw boom, 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 and then not initiate on the ground against Fuudo. Man, he did it again. Walk up and wait. You gotta stop. You gotta stop the sweep. It happens to everybody. Even the best players in the world sometimes get hit by the same thing over and over and over. He doesn't have an answer to the spaced out sweep. He keeps trying to counter sweep just out of habit, and it's not working.
Oh, there we go. The crush and the confirm.
V reversal's fantastic. Initiates, and then throws the boom again. Walk up, challenge with a button. I think Daigo can just start booming away at this point. He's kind of got Fuudo conditioned to swing. Oh my. Okay. This is, you know, when Fuudo's thinking, I don't want to hit something because Daigo's going to whiff punish me, double dash and a jab throw. That's what happened. He stood in that range and whiff punished Fuudo like 3 or 4 times and had Fuudo afraid. And then when Fuudo gets afraid, that's what ends up happening, although he's dead here. That's how Daigo plays his game. He initiates, and he plays that little rotation of, do I dash at you? Do I walk at you? Do I swing first? Do I wait for you to swing? Do I just reset and throw a boom? He plays that little rotation of options very well, and it's what makes his Guile scary because he plays fast. He doesn't just sit there and throw booms and flash kick. He plays fast, and his fast play causes his opponents to make generally mistakes when trying to deal with what he's, you know, throwing out at you. It's a smart way to play the character. He just gets to be very speedy and do a lot, and really let his instincts and like just knowledge of the game shine, right?
Double back fist as well. Double back fist. I love it up against Poison, right? Because she's gonna want to do the whip after blocking the first one.
Yeah, I was talking about that yesterday, but spending super early for both of these characters, I think is super fine. In a matchup like this, where you're grinding constantly, spending critical art right away is, to me, the right choice almost every time, because you put yourself in a position where you have a massive life lead and you can just like chill and, you know, really force them to approach you the rest of the match. Oh, too far. Yeah, too far. Oh no, these sweeps.
Yeah, and of course, Fuudo not gonna let that situation pass him by. Punishes with the critical art, and that's 1 round away from a reset bracket.
Yeah, Daigo has talked before about that, you know, characters like Guile can do a lot. And you see it in this matchup. He doesn't just sit there and do nothing. It's a very active character. Despite him just being booms and flash kicks, like, you're constantly throwing booms, constantly, you know, checking on the ground, using those great grounded normals. Like, you're doing something the whole time. It's not just sit and wait style. This pressure is real bad for Fuudo. A life lead like this in a matchup like this is often very, very hard to come back from. Even with her high damage, but I think that's kind of being mitigated by how much Daigo's approaching. He really is walking in a lot. I think also walk and block against Poison is good because you can V-reversal her in the corner. Yeah, interruption. Critical art. Spend it every time. Get that extra damage. Force Fuudo to make the comeback here, which he can do with all this meter.
No sweeps, Daigo.
Oh no!
That's gonna do it right there.
Again.
Never mind. He doesn't have the critical art.
Okay, this is not so scary.
Still hanging on here. Oh,
a boom trade is fine for Daigo, right? So he just needs a boom or like a forward medium kick. That'll do it too. Ooh, this life is the gray damage is getting scary. I feel like Daigo dashed up hoping to find something V-reversible, but Fuudo didn't give it to him. Yeah, that's what he wants. He wants the V-reversal so that Fuudo just gets knocked down and he gets a chance at mixing him up. You got to throw the heavy booms for a little while here. Yeah. The interruption. The reason he throws the heavy booms before this is because they're fast and they'll hit Fuudo on startup of crouching heavy punch or medium stance. If you do like the light boom or something, you can get the trade. But yeah, that's where he did the light boom and try to dash up and Fuudo with the check. Even a trade was fine for Fuudo there, right? He's up around. He'll get the W.
And there we go. 0-0.
The reset. I got to reset back to the lobby. Restart. Probably right around here. Okay. Back into it. New set. Tippy tap on the angles. Tippy tap, tap, tap it in. What I want to see from Daigo, although you can ask a lot of Daigo and not always get it. Nice. No counter sweep. I like that. A little less sweeping on the sweep. Don't sweep the leg. And also maybe with the way he approaches, try to use a little bit more boom and a little less like walk up and getting caught. I think the booms are such an important part about this matchup. You know what I mean? Like you have to use them to set up your offense and not use your offense all the time and then not throw booms.
Whole lot of great life taken away with that front throw.
Yeah, he wanted the V-reversal because he got the knockdown. Even if your opponent does something that's negative, I think V-reversaling it's not the end of the world if it gets you a knockdown in a situation like that. But yeah, I mean, he could have taken a mix-up instead. Yeah, neutral jumping resets the boom position on screen. It's why Fuudo's neutral jumping. You don't get put in block stun. Oh, the reactions. Man, that critical art has a huge hitbox. It's super, super big. It has like a massive hitbox. It hits high in the air, so you can use it as an anti-air. It's a really good critical art. And again, this is why having a character like Poison for him is so great, right? Like, you don't want to just play a character like Mika. That's a drop. Missed the jab first. But you don't want to play a character just like Mika because, you know, in a matchup like this, it's not quite the most fun to try to get in on Guile. But Poison, even if she's got to get in, she has her own tools to contest in the mid-range a little bit better.
See again. You see, Daigo doesn't try to react with the text. He just kind of jabs every once in a while.
Man, that is a high pop. Spend it again. And again, this just allows Daigo to build meter, right? Like, I think he's totally okay with that not killing because he spent meter and he's going to go into this next round with half a bar. And all that damage he got there, he didn't have to risk himself. He just spends it, gets the knockdown, pushes her away. Life leads in matchups like this are so important.
He believes in that. And like I said, he's practicing on his own stream online all the time. So
look at this. He's already at almost 2 meters, by the way. Daigo's, yeah, he's like already almost there. Like, he has that EX boom there. Oh, he thought he was going to go behind or something. Working on stun. Baited. No stun into throw this time. Real calm.
Quick round that time from Daigo.
That's just kind of the momentum Daigo had. He had that extra bar. Both of those meters, right? Because he spent critical art and then he built the meter back and he just put the pressure on. And pressure in this matchup is important for Guile as well, right? Because, you know, those jumps and those moments where you get offense are really key to grind down some gray damage, get some chip in, maybe get actually some hits, and then reset to the neutral where Guile, he's often at advantage anyway, right? Ah, stuffed the anti-air.
Now he gets to play it
Such a low hitbox on that like oftentimes even your anti-airs just get stuffed, or you try to like flash kick and you're too late and you get hit before it even comes out.
That he has already. Daigo's not, I mean, sorry, Guile's really
Dude,
not
his
known for that
sweep whip
first grab.
punishes are hella good.
Oh, you really utilize
Yeah, that buffer has been very important so far. Throw bait,
reaching.
Daigo will up back or up forward out of the corner, or jab activate.
Daigo is,
Yeah, you don't spend the little booms there because you don't really get much, right? So
reset or something.
it's better to save them for mid-screen
I
positioning.
love these V reversals
Yeah, again,
from Fuudo.
Fuudo doesn't care about taking the gray damage there because like, or the boom damage here because he gets the V reversal anyway. So even though the boom punished the V reversal,
Yeah,
I
love
mean,
these V
look at that.
reversals from Fuudo.
Daigo has all this gray life. You know, Fuudo takes one boom worth of damage. It's like, you just take the V reversal, get the knockdown. V reversal is a really powerful tool in this matchup for both characters. You V reversal your opponent, you get gray damage on them, which makes your damage anytime you hit them add up, and just gives you that extra little bit sometimes when, you know, in a match like this, it's little pixels matter quite a lot, right? The chip and the gray life is really important.
People affect your decision making that
If a fireball does, instead of, you know, it does its base damage, it does like 40, 50, 60 extra damage because of the gray life or something, it's important.
Nice for Slim. This is a great start.
Yeah, V reversal again, just to take the gray and the
Some of that pressure,
knockdown.
however, that's gonna put V-Trigger out of the picture.
Yeah, now
Fuudo plays that so safe, by the way. The pressure there was like the safest pressure he could do. Doesn't put himself in a bad spot or anything. Dude, he's like 3 for 3 on this. Fuudo just throws the up Molotov, dashes up, because he's covered by the up Molotov. He doesn't feel super unsafe. Snipes the up back. It's just like a habit. It's just fighting game nature tells you, oh god, up Molotov's there. I'll just up back to get out of this situation. Like, I would guarantee you that 90% of players would react in that way. They'd be like, oh, and they just like dash back, you know, backdash and then jump back, or they just jump back afraid of that situation, and Fuudo capitalized.
No. 1-1 in the.
I thought Fuudo took the first game.
I mean, even if your opponent doesn't do anything, if they just sit there, I mean, Fuudo dashes up, and now the Molotov's going to fall to cover him. He still gets pressure.
Takes the lead in this next game. Puts themselves on Capcom Cup qualifying point.
Uh-oh.
That's how dominant Fuudo's been.
Back throw is pretty scary here for Daigo.
Yeah, I mean, it's been what it's been
Up
about.
forward out of the corner. I've talked about it before, but that's totally a fine risk to take because look at the punish he eats for up forward out of the corner. Standing medium punch.
About 4 games to
If this next mix-up works or something, sure, it could be dangerous. But if you jump out of the corner and all you get hit by is a medium, you're like, all right, cool.
definitely doubling up the wins of Daigo.
Like, you don't feel bad about that at all, right? If your opponent gives up the corner like that because they overpress, like, you feel great about just getting hit by one button. Just holding up out of the corner is really, it's really good. Like, you just get out.
But Daigo, I mean, that's the Guile game. You can't abandon it.
Too far.
Whip kick sometimes. However, the flash kick whip gonna pay dearly here.
Aww.
Ouch.
Super safe. Fuudo just threw the up Molotov and was chilling. Big chilling.
Back to back. You think you would learn the first time, and then you try to throw out that second one to catch him off guard, but Fuudo with the lead.
Oh my goodness, Fuudo on this poison, brother. He's in complete control. Yeah, this long range game just been
Man, dash on dash too. Daigo is really standing here in the pocket and trying to throw booms, right? He doesn't want to back up at all and give Fuudo any space to find these trades. He's much more comfortable just like walking up and forcing Fuudo to fight in that range where Poison kind of has her dead zone. And look for V reversals, right? Which are very good. Like, the V reversals against this character are really strong.
Yeah, I can't believe he knew.
I think
that
approaching when she has V trigger, nice. He's going to get under the Molotov. Oh, he didn't at the end? Didn't reach. It was too slow. Oh, we lost a little bit. Daigo's on gray. Fuudo's stuck.
Goodness, just standing there holding the stance. Daigo with so little
This is a bad spot for Daigo. Yeah, jab EX boom is a great check and great for glue normals. One thing about this is, like, if you're Fuudo here, you just need a tap, right? So you actually shouldn't take anything risky. I don't think you should try, like, any scary, like, walk up, walk in and out. Like, you should just tap with standing leg kick. I think that if you want to, exactly like that, you shouldn't try anything too risky. You shouldn't swing with anything too big. It should be a lot of lights. Oh, it should be a lot of lights. Really safe pressure. Anytime when he blocks that whip or the whip whiffs, it gives Daigo time to walk forward, right? When you block, like, you block this, you have time to walk up and block the next one and gain a little bit of space. The space is important because from this range, right, he's a little closer. If you're, like, in this range and she does it, you can V reversal it. So it's, like, really important for Daigo to try to gain little bits of space so that he can find a V reversal on Poison or find the jab check that he needs or sweep whip punish, right? Man, I think that's such a big commitment from Fuudo. Commitment to then Gazmaniac. Thanks very much. Or Gazmanic. The thing is like, with that big of a lead, I think Fuudo needs to just stand there and tap, tap, tap with stand light kick. Committing all the way in like that is such a big gamble. And it really felt like it was an unforced risk. You know what I mean? But by being such a wall, Daigo created a situation where Fuudo felt like he had to go in and do something. Even though he really didn't, right? Oh, God. I think that was like an upside down kick miss. This is stun. EX. No EX. This is almost impossible to win anyway for Fuudo. Especially, yeah, in a matchup like this, it's brutally difficult. Notice that Daigo's timing here is perfect. Walk back, just out of range, walk forward, crouch block. The thing is, you walk forward here so that your anti-air is in a good spot. If you're slightly further back, crouching heavy punch might lose in this scenario. But walking up and then under is exactly what he's looking for. It's really good. Making sure your anti-airs work, a lot of the times walking forward like that beforehand to put yourself under the opponent is a good choice. You want their jump to be like misspaced, right? So they use the wrong jump normal. Man, Fuudo really just, I feel like, overcommitted in that last round. Although it's tough to blame him, right? Like, Daigo was grinding it out for so long and living on that pixel for so long that Fuudo was like, man, I gotta do something. You don't blame him. You can see why he felt the urge, right? To try to press in some way. Yeah, it's very important Fuudo does not overcommit and keeps the corner here. You really cannot afford to lose the corner position in this situation, and we've seen Daigo just up forward out of the corner so many times already. There's the flash kick. I haven't seen that in a while. Nice. Nice read! And there's the throw. Yeah, we've seen so many V reversals. Oh no. And the V reversal again from Fuudo. Daigo jumping back. Oh, that was such a big risk. If that was blocked that close, that would have been counter sweep every time. Yeah, no V reversal yet for Daigo to get out of that, so he just has to eat the chip. He has to take the pressure. He can try to flash kick, but it's obviously a big risk. That's unsafe, but at that range, I don't think Daigo has a punish. I don't think jab would have reached. At least not in time to be a punish. Man, sweep, whip punish into the roll too. Unfortunately, missed the meaty. That sucks. Getting hit by that boom is really bad. Yeah, because this is what happens. You see that one? This is how we talked about it yesterday. Getting hit by this boom here, this is a small mistake, right? Neutral jumping a boom and landing on it is a very small mistake, but look at how little mistakes snowball at a high level. You know, players like this will take advantage of one small mistake that really leads to the end of the round. And so now, because of this, Daigo gets V-skill boom, gets the walk forward. Fuudo accidentally dashes and doesn't have time to block it. Throw connects. Look at the positioning on screen because of one very small mistake, right? It seems like something that's so minuscule, and people will talk about how offense gets you killed, like the throws or like these other things. But really, what got Fuudo killed in this round, what really causes this position to be where Fuudo dies, was neutral jumping the boom. People often think about the mix-ups in this game, and they say, like, you know, he died to, like, upside down kick 50-50 or throw or whatever it is. But the reason that round was forlorn for Fuudo was a little mistake in neutral that caused Daigo to gain a tremendous amount of pressure and screen positioning because of it. One neutral jump on the boom. That's all it was. That was the most important factor in that match, right? Or in that round. One small mistake is all it took. Which is brutal at a level like this where neutral jumping a boom and falling on it causes this to happen. Because once you get into the pressure situation, you know, anybody can guess wrong on defense and die, but capitalizing on little mistakes in neutral is so brutal, right? It's like you just get hit and it all falls apart. What's good, Rich? Yeah, getting hit by the V-skill boom happened, right? But he was only in that position because the first boom hit, and then Fuudo was like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? Ow. That was my knee. I was readjusting in my seat. Yeah, that crouching heavy punch, super negative. Spend it, yeah. Crouching heavy punch is super negative, so because of that, Daigo always gets a reversal boom there. Look at that life lead, too. In a matchup like that, that can be very important. Overcommitment from Fuudo on the dash, I think. And the V-reversal to get the knockdown. Ooh. Fuudo thought he was going to press. Oh, no, and that back jump, too. I think the back jump is not a great idea. Okay, V-reversal is good.
Daigo still with an opportunity here. This corner pressure.
Oh, that's real bad.
Here we go. Big damage here. EX. Can he kill
Not
him?
enough.
Not quite.
And that'll do it. 2 apiece last game. And the thing is like, Fuudo made a few mistakes there in neutral, but like spending the meter to get that big of a life lead forced Daigo to chase in that round. And forcing a character to chase in this kind of a grind matchup is so important, right? That was so scary. I think Fuudo tried to neutral jump the boom and he back jumped, and then by back jumping gave up so much space, and then because of that, like almost lost the round again. But like, you know, people talk a lot about tournament nerves and talk about being new and making little mistakes and stuff. Look at how many little mistakes even the best players made. Like think about that stun combo Daigo did, and think about the jump back instead of jump forward on accident. Little things like that. Even really good players make mistakes on them in pressure in like the heat of the moment, and it cost them. Yeah, Daigo was a little early on the crouching heavy punch. He probably had to let Poison go over his head and then do it on the other side. Punish. Could have done flash kick, but maybe didn't believe. Actually might have just got hit standing. I don't know which version of Love Me Tender she did. Your phone auto-corrected Fuudo to funds. Ooh, that V-reversal. Those really add up in a matchup like this. Yeah, that's one of the first trades. Look at how good Daigo is at this, man. He really does not give Poison a lot of room to do this. This is one of the very first trades we've seen with a boom and a whip the entire game. Right? And even that trade, Fuudo had Gray Life. So because that, I mean, like, you know, even that trade, like, it ended up being pretty even because Fuudo had Gray Life up there. Can I explain why Daigo does EX booms out of nowhere? Just to surprise his opponent, because the speed of the slower booms will mean that they're unexpected and EX booms will randomly catch you, or Fuudo's trying to use a stance and like right there, right? That's checking the movement and stopping Fuudo from moving forward. Being afraid of the EX boom also means that Fuudo can't just like walk and block and be safe all the time. He has to watch out for them. Oh, don't. Oh man, the up back was so scary. EX booms are surprises that Fuudo has to see like that. They're surprises that Fuudo has to deal with that are really fast, hard to check. Again, V-reversaling is such a detriment to both of these characters. Too ambitious. Why am I scared? I know who wins this because the match is dope. It's tense. You can still feel how the players feel even if you know the outcome of the match. That was good to stuff the boom, actually. We haven't seen too much of that. Punish. That crouching heavy punch. Incredibly negative. So even blocking it right here, plenty of time to punish. It's one thing that a lot of people have trouble with. They don't find a clean answer to that. It really feels also, you know, we talked about this in the Daigo Shudo match. It really feels like in this last match, Daigo has thrown way more booms. Like way more booms than the rest of the set. He really started to like turn on the booms and be like, all right, I got to throw him. And then because of that, it also feels like Fuudo, when he does get pressure, is committing a little bit more and giving away V-reversals. You know what I mean? Like we can see how many times he gets V-reversaled in this last match compared to the rest of the matches. Oh, brutal. That second sweep anti-air attempt here, it doesn't quite reach, but Fuudo hits crouching medium kick anyway, and if he just blocked, which is, you know, hindsight is 2020, if he had just blocked and got a big punish with heavy punch and he could have activated V-trigger and all that kind of stuff, so unfortunate. That wasn't even a real anti-air sweep.
Such a hefty life lead for Daigo here. All he has to do is close out this round. It is all him at this point.
Is it going to be heavy punch in the super? I mean,
and the reaction anti-air shaves him away. Clean. Fuudo was in a bad spot. He had to do something there. And Daigo, clutch. Critical art was ready. Not much you can do there. The thing is even if you're a little late and the critical art is blocked, it's fine. Because, you know, there's tons of pushback and everything. But it was an anti-air anyway, right? Committed to the committed to the air button no matter what. Fuudo, man, he grinded out that set. It really does feel like, though, in the last match especially, Daigo threw way more booms, and because of the pressure of the situation, Fuudo kind of gave him more V-reversal points than the rest of the match, right? These eyes, don't stare directly into his eyes. They're too dangerous. Yeah, Daigo does well I mean, people act like Daigo winning a tournament this year is, like, so incredible. Like, I don't think he won a premiere last year. I think he got second at a premiere, but he won a premiere in 2018. I think he won a premiere in 2017. Like, he usually wins a premiere each year anyway, and he usually wins some kind of big exhibition or match that he's in each year. And also, he does, like, well at the Panga League and stuff and all those other things. And also, he qualifies for Capcom Cup every year. Every single year, like, halfway through the year, he's already qualified. He, like, qualifies for CPT finals, like, halfway through the year and just stops traveling. He's in, like, the top 5 or top 7 of CPT points and then stops participating for the rest of the year for the most part. And then ends up in, like, the 17th seed or the 20th seed or whatever it is. And then he's just like, all right. The other thing about Daigo is, like, he's been streaming nonstop lately and he's been practicing every single day. Go look at his Twitch channel, right? And see that every day he's playing tons of online ranked. He's playing tons of online against other players. He's grinding long sets with people. He's, like, talking about strategy and he's, like, thinking about the game. He streams all the time. He's, like, practicing constantly. Dude, he plays so much online. So there's one more qualifier for Asia East Online. And again, these regions are Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Japan, and Korea. So only one other player from all of those regions will make it. Think about previous Capcom Cups. How many players in Capcom Cup each year are Japanese? Japanese players are like half the CPT finals for Capcom Cup. This year, there's maybe going to be 2. There could be 1. It could just be 1. Yeah, even the U.S. has US West and US East, right? So they'll qualify multiple players by comparison to Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. Yeah, Capcom Cup, it will be offline. It's planned to be early next year in, they said the US again, because it was supposed to be France, and then they were like, well, with everything going on, we'll put it in the US because their offices are in the US and everything, right? But who knows what's even going to happen.